21वीं सदी में अगर हमारा देश कोई धर्म के ऊपर नहीं चलता है, वो संविधान के ऊपर चलता है, और हमारे अगर फंडामेंटल राइट्स है तो वो हमें मिलने चाहिए। और इसीलिए टेंपल में जो एंट्री बैन की जाती है वो बिल्कुल गलत है, और वहां पे भक्तों को, सभी पुरुष हो या महिला हो, सभी को जो है वो समानता का अधिकार मिलना चाहिए।
That religion cannot be the cover to deny women their basic rights, their right to worship.
Just in case if you don't know about J. Sai Deepak, he is an Indian lawyer who has completed his LLB from IIT Kharagpur. J. Sai Deepak का काफी contribution है in cases like Sabrimala temple and the recent one is Padmanabhan temple, in which he is able to give justice to the families of deities, जिससे deities की family का भी मंदिर और उसके वेद पर अधिकार हो सके।
When you say that this temple does not allow women and it has a problem with women, it is based on misogyny, it's based on patriarchy. I want to ask each of these people, what do you know about the temple before you have made that comment? What have you read before you have made that comment? Are you saying that you know better than centuries of people who have actually worshipped at the temple and who have practiced that particular faith? Unless and until you have a specific position, kindly don't make yourself the representative of the entire female community. You're not. Second, you can't speak on behalf of believers, you can't speak on behalf of the deity, you can't speak on behalf of the temple. To put it in the language of Game of Thrones, you know nothing, Jon Snow. It doesn't make a difference if India is a secular country or not. You know why? Because a place of worship is not a secular place. By definition, it is a religious place. Okay? So please do not apply secular logic to religious places, because you will not tolerate application of religious logic to secular places. Okay? The right of an individual when it comes to a public place of worship is necessarily subservient to the rights of the believers. आप घर में बैठ के जब आप मूवी देख रहे हैं, आप अपने सर पे पॉपकॉर्न डाल लीजिए, किसी और के सर पे पॉपकॉर्न डाल लीजिए, आप चिल्ला लीजिए, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है। लेकिन अगर आप सिनेमा थिएटर जाएंगे तो आप पब्लिक जगह पे जा रहे हैं, तो जिन्होंने पैसा दिया है उस मूवी को देखने के लिए, आप उनके राइट्स को भी रेस्पेक्ट करेंगे। As simple as that. It comes to interpretation of non-Hindu religions in India under law or in any of the Islamic seminaries. Which book which traces its origins to India is relied upon for interpretation of either Islamic law or Christian canon law? I'm trying to ask myself this simple question, since you're saying...
No, please explain to me
आपके लिए और थोड़ा मैं सिंपल कर देता हूँ।
कर दीजिए।
जब आप फतवा जारी करते हैं, and I am using the word fatwa as a legal finding, a judicial finding, not in the negative sense. Okay?
It is an advisory. It's
Exactly.
not a
No
judicial.
problem.
It's an advisory.
चाहे वो advisory
Supreme
हो या
Court has
binding हो,
said
जो
it's
कुछ भी।
advisory.
ठीक है।
Yeah.
So the question is, भारत के कौन से book में से आप अपने, let's say, interpretation को ढूंढते हैं? My point is, everything that relates to Islam necessarily comes from a book and commentaries which do not originate in India. Okay. Would that be a correct statement to make?
You're absolutely wrong.
Oh, please tell me.
You don't know.
Sahih al-Bukhari was authored in India.
Do you know Fatwa Alamgiri?
Go ahead,
Fatwa
please.
Alamgiri?
Oh, so you use Fatwa Alamgiri to actually...
Listen to me. Where was Fatwa Alamgiri written?
No. The question is,
listen,
when you
sir,
issue a fatwa,
sir,
do you use the Quran or what are you using?
Are you debating with me or an anchor?
I am
You want
asking
to
you a
debate with me?
straightforward...
I'll answer.
I am asking you a straightforward question.
I am answering you in a straightforward way. Please listen to me. You have...
Should I rephrase the question for you to understand it better?
I understood where you're coming from.
Answer, please.
Do you believe that the Islamic law is only Quran and Sunnah? No. You're absolutely wrong.
Go ahead, please explain.
No, it is not.
Right.
It is Quran, it is Sunnah,
right.
It is the judicial or the fatwas given.
Hadith.
It is Sunnah is Hadith only.
Hadith only.
Then you have schools of thought.
Right.
Hanafi, Shafi'i, Maliki, Fiqh.
Right.
Then you have Fatwa Alamgiri. There are so many books.
So these schools of thought, what is the basis of the schools of thought? Is the
every religion, every school of thought.
Right.
Basically,
Has the audience understood the question? Okay, great.
No, listen.
Yes, please.
Fantastic.
Right.
Majority of Indian Muslims are Hanafis.
Okay.
We follow Fatwa Alamgiri.
Okay.
And that protection, where it comes from? Article 26.
Okay.
Isn't it?
And what is the basis of Fatwa Alamgiri?
Fatwa Alamgiri is the opinion of the Islamic scholars who were born in India.
Based on what?
Based on Quran and Sunnah.
Thank you.
And also advice.
Thank you.
Also, listen, no.
एक ही क्वेश्चन है कि हम बात कर रहे हैं कि पीरियड्स में लड़कियों को अलाउ नहीं करते, दे डोंट अलाउ टू एंटर इन अ टेम्पल। अभी साईं दीपक सर ने, आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट एनीथिंग, आई एम अ ब्राह्मण गर्ल, आई रिस्पेक्ट हिंदुज्म, आई रिस्पेक्ट एवरीबody। मेरा सिर्फ एक ही कहना
got your
है,
question, ma'am. Please reply properly.
Can I just request the lady to pay attention because I'm responding to your question, right? Okay. One, I don't see why you had to flaunt your Brahminical credentials because as long as you're a Hindu, there ends the matter. Okay? No, let me respond. You're saying that you're aware of the traditions because you're a Brahmin. Trust me when I say this, but most non-Brahmins know traditions better than Brahmins today. Okay?
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. A real gangster ass nigga.
You started the entire premise, and your argument is based on the assumption that the temple has a fundamental problem with menstruation, that it treats it as impurity, something which defiles the temple. I am asking you again and again and again in a loop like a stuck gramophone, what is the basis of this assumption? Where are you drawing this assumption from? How are you informed? What is your source? What is your authority? What is the factual basis? Please don't cite news reports. Have you done any reading on your own to come out with this conclusion? If the answer is a no, then you're relying on what we call secondary propositions, which is word of mouth. Okay? This intellectual, the rules of the society don't apply to me. I will sit in some remote corner of an academic campus, enjoying the benefits of the state and calling for its destruction because I'm a global citizen. Give up the benefits of the state. Give up the benefit of the state and beg for food the way the true seeker was expected to before. Bhiksha mango, then ask for it. Okay? But on the one hand, you constantly want entitlements, freedoms, concessions, raise in this, raise in that from the state, and you're still attacking the state. Jis thali mein khaya, usi mein chhed kiya.
Guess who's back? State